Yesterday's tragic event in Christchurch has also affected different communities on the island, especially the expats community, as families worry about their loved ones in the Canterbury area. Most of the families we spoke to made contact with their families, and some did not receive good news.
We got an email today saying that our Uncle Lynn's house is completely damaged and stuff, and so they're living with our other uncle. And then my dad, Laurie, he came here and helped with after the Heta cyclone, and he was a fireman and he did volunteer work here, and so he helped drive the ambulance and stuff. But then last night, he was helping out, and then a building collapsed on him, and he had his helmet on because he was in the in one of the big collapsed buildings trying to help people and stuff, and then it collapsed on him. Lucky he had his helmet on, because if he didn't, he would have been dead. And so yeah, he just has an injured shoulders. But he sent an email and it said that it was real, because he had to go through all the buildings and walking past dead women and crawling past them. And he said it's very traumatic, and it was real sad that they couldn't help them because they were too wedged in between other buildings and decapitated and stuff like that. So they couldn't help them, and they saved a few people from one of the buildings, which was good. But yeah, apart from that, and our uncle's nephew, when he was on it, he was on the bus, and then it got crushed, and then he died as well. We just found that out, so that's really sad, and all our thoughts go out to all our family and everything. So yeah.
Today also we caught up with one of the expats from Christchurch, whether his family managed to escape the dramatic events that unfolded yesterday.
It was a fairly nerve-wracking afternoon. Once Shell phoned me to say that there'd been the earthquake, while we raced around trying to get hold of people. The strangest thing was probably us being in Niue as far as getting hold of my brother and sister and mum and dad and Shelley's brother and her mum. We were able to relay, because they couldn't get through to each other, whereas we were able to get through to them and say, well, we've contacted other families. So I'm pleased to say that all our immediate family has been accounted for. All have come through unscathed. Unfortunately, mum and dad's property and my brother's property in Lower Kashmir, which has been pretty severely hit, have been both badly damaged. And it looks like in the early stages, mum and dad's property probably won't be surviving. So it's been severely affected by that new word of 2011 liquefaction. So I've talked to them this morning, and they've got a number of volcanoes bubbling up their driveway. So pretty sad stuff for people that are obviously in their late 70s.
This afternoon, Honourable Premier Toke Talangi issued a press statement expressing his condolences over the loss of lives and the devastation caused by the Christchurch earthquake, in which he expressed to Prime Minister John Keys that Niue stands by New Zealand at this time and offers its support and prayers. At this stage, Niuean officials are also trying to determine the status of Niuean students who are studying in Christchurch, as well as those residing in the Christchurch-Canterbury area. When this news went to air, the total number of those perished stood at 75, with a reported 300 still missing. We'll bring you more updates on this story in our future news bulletin. 4 new vacancies for top jobs in 4 government departments are up for grabs. According to the chairperson of the New Public Service Commission, Mr. Puni Kapanga, the 4 director posts were not purposely left to be advised concurrently, but the appointments of the posts previously were within weeks of each other, hence the 4 posts advertised for interested applicants. The government posts that are available are Public Works, Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Administrative Services, and the Department of Community Affairs. The new Public Commissioner also said that it is likely that one of the current directors will not reapply for their job, instead focusing on the private sector. A group of animal veterinarians are scheduled to arrive on the island next month to assist with some ongoing programs of the Niue Police and Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry. According to Chief of Police Mark Chenery, the coordinating plan will certainly assist control the number of animals on the island.
We've got some responsibility on the island with the culling of the dogs. As I think I've made it fairly clear to the community, it's not something we like doing because we have to shoot them. It's not necessarily always the most humane way to put them down. So I think our involvement, along with Brendan and his DAF team, has been really positive to try and get that population down in a more humane manner. So the purpose of the vets SPORE is what their acronym is, which is the South Pacific Animal Welfare Group. So they're coming up on the 11th of March. They're bringing up a team of 3 veterinarians and 3 vet nurses. Effectively, they're wanting to concentrate on 3 main things, and that's the desexing of cats and dogs, which can be done from 8 weeks old, and obviously that will in itself lower the population. So we'd encourage all people, it's free, it's not going to cost you a bean, so we'd like to encourage all people that maybe missed out on the opportunity when there was just a couple of vets came up to certainly grab this one with both hands. They'll also look at pretty much anything. They'll look at parasite control, which has wider health implications for the human population on Niue, that parasites on animals can be transferred to humans, and you can then get worm problems and things like that. So from that respect, that's really positive as well from a general health side of things. They're also looking at livestock, whatever livestock, and certainly people that have got pigs and stuff on the island to make contact early with Teresa or Brendan, or see the vets when they arrive and get them to maybe do a visit. As I said, with 3 vets, 3 vet nurses, there's enough of them that they can probably go and do visits to local pig farms and things like that for them to check the animals. And again, that could be focusing on parasite control and worm control and things like that.
Is this going to be an ongoing project?
Yes, that's the whole purpose of SPORE. They're throughout the Pacific, and this would be likely a yearly visit. So that would be just brilliant, because most of the vaccines, most of the flea control, most of the worm control sort of has about a 12-month period of effectiveness. So it's certainly their plan. It would certainly like to be my plan that they come up on a yearly basis at about this time of the year, just prior to the school to the tourist season starting. The other thing too is Karen's really keen, and I've certainly had great feedback from the principals of both the primary and Niue High School that it's certainly at some stage during the week both vets and vet nurses will go up and visit the high schools and do a talk to the students there, and I think that will be really positive too.
Chief Chenery also said the program will help the island, and this has also been assisted by some businesses.
A number of local businesses have donated their time. Namakulu Cottages and Spa are providing 2 free units for them to use during the week, and Alofi Rentals providing a vehicle for them to use during the week as well. So I mean that's really positive, and it's become a whole community type project from that respect.
If you are interested in registering your name for this program, please contact the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. Tourism appears to be booming following a public presentation by the Niue Tourism Office last week. Members of the public and tourism industry were given a rundown of major developments over the last 12 months and further outlook for the next 24 months. Branding and marketing plans have gone into full swing, and Niue's notoriety in the Pacific is on a rise, with projected figures for travellers by sea and air also increasing. Some of the more visible changes have been upgrades to infrastructure up at the airport. Developments for further infrastructure is also underway to increase the capacity to accommodate travellers. Tourism Director Hayden Porter is currently in New Zealand, making sales calls and meeting with agencies that work with marketing Niue. Less than 30 sports competitors will represent Niue at the South Pacific Games in New Caledonia this year. Yesterday, after the confirmation of codes based on the island who will attend the Games, the numerical entries was less than 30, with only a couple more codes to confirm participation at the Games. This year's attendance will be the smallest number in years, and the main sporting body is hoping to have more success at the Games in New Caledonia this year. We'll bring you more on this story in our future news bulletin. Alofi Township was buzzing with excitement with an influx of visitors arriving on the cruise boat MS Albatross. Over 300 tourists came ashore, mostly of European descent, some going on tours, while others opted to take their time walking around the township, taking every opportunity to take snapshots of the rock to add to their Pacific expedition. This is the second cruise boat to grace our shores this year, and Niue Tourism says this is due to Niue's growing reputation as a must-see spot in the Pacific. The MS Albatross is operated by Germany-based travel agency Phoenix Reason, built in 1973. The cruise ship has a crew of 350, a capacity to take on 800 passengers. However, on this voyage, there are just over 650 passengers on board. The MS Albatross departed at 1:30 this afternoon.